What's up, my beautiful people? D'Lo here from Rincon de Armas. Welcome back to the channel. Today's class is going to be on FTE217 for week 2 assignment. So basically it's broken down into 3 parts. First part is exploding the gun, showing firearm parts. So here we have buffer tube, buffer, spring, right? This is the bolt carrier group. Have the barrel still on the plastic with the nut, barrel nut right there. Hand guard floats over the barrel. Upper receiver, which connects to the barrel. Lower receiver, hand grip, which connects to the upper receiver. Charging handle and buffer and gas tube right here. Gas blocks right here. Those are very important. I'll explain in a second. Forward assist, dust cover, trigger group they have to assemble, trigger guard, as well as the pivot pins for the connection between the upper and the lower receiver, the detent pins for the grip to stand. The grip screws are also here. And lastly, stock, which I was informed stock and charging handle don't need to be involved because this came already disassembled. I am showing it disassembled. I'm actually not sure if I should be assembling it before the end of the course or if it's going to be a part of a requirement for the course to record it. So in that aspect, I have not. It is only week 2, so I'll get back to that shortly. So next steps in part 2 for me is I have to select 6 components that and describe the function, right? So I can start with the pretty smaller stuff, right? Let's start with the gas tube as well as the gas block. The gas block and the gas tube are important in the cycle of operations of the firearm, specifically the AR-15. That is because when the trigger squeeze and the bullet is fired and it shoots out through this barrel, it's releasing gases behind the bullet, right? The gas block is put on like midway through, a little bit more than past midway through, right? To help some of those gases escape. When they escape into the gas block pushes the gas through this tube, right? Pushes it through the tube. The tube then plays a role in the cycle of operation because it is spewing back gas that is going to force this bolt carrier group inside the receiver of the gun to move rearward, right? As it moves rearward, it's completing an extraction of the bullet that was just fired, the cartridge of the bullet that was just fired, right? It is extracting it with the extractor, which also plays a big role, right? Once that's extracted, it pops out of the side, that window there where the dust cover goes over, right? It pops out of that ejection port. That's the proper term, ejection port. Pops out of the ejection port. Then this bolt starts to move forward. Before it does that, the reason that it starts to move forward is because it's connected to the spring and the buffer tube, right? It's also going in backwards. It's going all the way in, compressing it, and then it's getting pushed back out. Right? It's going all the way in, touching the buffer tube and the spring. Boom. Goes all the way in, pushes it back out. As you're pushing it back out, the bolt head is stripping around from the magazine, right? It's stripping around from the magazine and inserting it into the chamber, which is the end of that barrel, right? It's stripping it and putting it into the chamber, locking it. Once it locks, it is ready to fire again, and you start over the entire cycle of operations. In reality, I didn't make specific points for it, but I feel like feeding is first. Feeding a magazine into the gun when it is unloaded, and the bolt carrier is forward, it's seated already, it's locked or it's open if you have the bolt carrier open. You would then close it, it will strip around into the firearm, the chamber. You can fire the gun, right? That's a part of the cycle of operations. Once you fire it, the gas is following the bullet out. Some of it will hit the gas block. The gas block will push it into the gas tube. The gases will travel rearward into the bolt carrier group, pushing this back. Boom, repeating that same cycle, pushing forward, stripping a bullet, and so on and so forth. All right? That's part 2 pretty much of it. And part 3 I will need to reassemble the firearm, so I don't actually have all my tools in front of me. This is not my workstation, I'm in my living room right now, but I do have another AR platform. It is clear. These are snap caps. I forgot what you call those things. I also have the CMMG Bravo kit 22 conversion kit, so let's remove that out the way. Right, CMMG Bravo, put it to the side. I'll input, boom. Here we go. Boom. Now, it's not oiled or anything, but you can see it fires. Trigger is on safe mode. Cycle of operations, feeding. Like I said, these are snap caps, so they are not real ammunition, they're not live ammunition. There is no live ammunition in my workspace. All right, look. Enter it, right? Feeding, right? Pull the handle back, and it will strip a round from the magazine and put it into the chamber, right? You see it's in the chamber. You can see it's in the chamber. Boom. All right. All right, use the forward assist real quick because it is not oiled, so it's not. Right, next steps, you put the firearm on fire, taking it off safety, put it on fire, pull the trigger, boom. At this point, when you pull the trigger, the round is expended, right? So the shot goes off, the bullet goes out, the gases travel, like I said, into the gas block right here on this 10.5 inch, into the gas tube, and it will start to push the magazine, the bolt carrier group backwards. It will start to move the bolt carrier group backwards. And as it's moving backwards, it's also extracting the round. As you can see, it's extracted, right? Throws out the bullet and begins the process of stripping a new one. Stripping a new one on the way back to close the bolt. Boom. And then you're ready to fire again. And that is the cycle of operations. And yes, I did it on my 10.5 reticle firearm because I have not built this yet. And I'm going to start working on building the lower today. And then hopefully I can assemble the rest of the upper next weekend. And then it'll be ready for any of the other projects. Thank you guys for watching so much. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace.